SmackDown, a week later after its premiere on USA Network, came back with a fire show. We got LA Knight versus Andrade, Apollo Crews, Giovanni Vinci 2, Stratton and Nia Jax versus Naomi and Bailey, Cody and Roman face off at Georgia Tech, and KO and DIY versus the Bloodline. It is Saturday. It is now drink o'clock. You are now tuned in to the Smackdown Penitentiary. You know what time it is, everybody. Let's get into it. Yeah, boy, it's about that time. Yeah, everybody, welcome to the premiere show on UPR Network, the fastest rising show on UPR. And I tell you what, if we don't get no awards at the end of the year, I'm going on strike. Something has to give. Something's going to happen because it's no way we not getting no awards over here for the penitentiary. I mean, what we got? Our biggest competition is basically Mike Knox in NXT. But I think we're better than NXT. But I'm just saying, I can't say too much because we're trying to get Sabrina Estelle over here. So I can't disrespect Bad Guy Jack because he is doing his thing. He does give me props. But
it looks like we already got it.
It looks like it. It looks like it.
Already all up in the comments. What's up?
It looks like it. Sabrina Estella. Welcome. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us. I am one of your co-hosts, the Z is Solid. I'm here with my guy, Vic. How was your week, my brother?
Pretty good. Not bad. Pretty good week of wrestling.
It was a good week of wrestling. I can't say the same for AEW, but they tried. Raw, banger. Raw had a banger of a show. SmackDown had a banger last night. And I just want to say, I almost hyperventilated last night due to all the action we got, but mainly the tag match with Stratton and Nia Jax. Oh, I was on the edge of my seat. One of the best tag matches I've seen, best women's tag matches I've seen in a really long time.
Great storytelling.
It was really good, and the fact that they made it a tornado tag made it even better.
Facts.
And so I think that, and what WWE did last night as far as their presentation was cinema. I mean, that's literally the word that is being spread around the internet wrestling community is cinema. Looking at that Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns meeting on the 50-yard line at Georgia Tech was crazy work.
You know what? I gotta be honest with you, because last week I was upset about Cody Rhodes not doing the hometown boy thing. But after that promo, I see it now. You know what I mean?
Sabrina, I am down for a custody of the unofficial camera woman. Let's do it. On screen debate. Whoever wins, we get your services.
Oh, okay. I thought you was ready to hang her on a cage and like we can do a ladder match type shit. Like I'm like, yo, you taking it.
So we get SmackDown starting off in a different. It was a little different the way they started off SmackDown. We see the Bloodline 2.0 walking through security. Like we never see this type of, I guess, walk in from anybody, which is like a weird touch, but a nice touch. And it was funny because everybody is beeping. I'm thinking, what did y'all? It's like y'all trying to get in the club. Like everybody's beeping, and it's not because of the goal. Because when they waved the wand. When they waved the wand in front of the belt didn't go off. So, but when they got down closer to like their ankles and feet, like what y'all got some shanks in there or something, you know? And Jacob just gets mad. So I thought that it was going to go off for Jacob. Go ahead. You know how to turn a light on, dude. You got it. You got it. I'm doing a show. Thank you.
You know what I found interesting about that whole thing? There was a hardcore focus on Jacob.
It was, and that's where I was getting to, because I thought that it was going to go off once it got at his heavy. He has the gold front, so I thought that it was going to, go on that aspect. And they're letting Jacob talk a little more than they let Tamatonga and Tongaloa talk, and which
But
they
the crazy thing
fucked that
is,
man up.
but you know what's interesting is that last night nobody from the original bloodline was there.
Yeah.
It was all just the people that Solo Sikoa brought in. Not even Solo was there.
Yeah.
Which I found
which was weird that he wasn't there. And I was expecting him to show up.
Mm-hmm.
But he did not.
Yeah, it was just all the goons. So I found that to be quite interesting and Jacob,
I think it was
already the attention.
I think it was in a it was one of those things where Solo was just embarrassed, so he decided not to show up based off
that makes sense. That's good heel work. That's good heel work.
So I think that's where they were going with that, which isn't a bad look. Still a really good different intro to SmackDown. And we started the night off with the United States Championship match, which was, again, I probably wouldn't start it off like that, but they did.
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that to start the show with a workhorse match, because the match
the match was really good.
He really, from my opinion, it felt like LA Knight was putting Andrade over and giving him some shine. You know what I mean? Because I feel like LA Knight's gonna hold that belt for a while. But the thing is that LA Knight's a really good worker, so he can make people look good. And then Andrade is also an amazing worker. You know what I mean? One of the things that I forgot about him was that he's a third generation superstar.
Yeah,
I thought he was just second generation. You know what I mean? So now I'm starting to see, because before when I looked at the relationship between him and Charlotte Flair, I would wonder, how they would deal with the cultural clash, because a lot of the cultural exchange with Americans is really one-sided, where because we're here, we pretty much pick up the culture, but it doesn't happen in reverse. But the thing that I see is just that they pretty much went through a similar lifestyle where they had parents that were wrestling gods, basically. So that's where I see the connection between them, because I'm sure they had a lot of similar experiences. You know what I mean? So but anyway, aside from that, they're both amazing workers. This relationship was starting to remind me of Jordan Grace and Jonathan Gresham. You know what I mean? Where it's like two people that are just really, really good workers, and they connect on that, like Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. But anyway, I'm rambling too much about that. So this match was...
No, you're good. I gotta step away for like 10 seconds because this kid acts like he can't even wipe his butt.
Oh, okay. So anyway, while he's wiping the kid's butt, I'm gonna keep talking about Andrade, right? Because I think that, you see, I always get upset sometimes when it comes to wrestlers from different places, because a lot of times the mic skills just aren't there. You know what I mean? And Rey Mysterio is a perfect example of that. You know what I mean? Because the truth is that out of the entire LWO, Selena Vega got the best mic skills. Dominic Mysterio got better mic skills than his dad. You feel me? But at the end of the day, they're doing a really good job of presenting Andrade, and I think that he's starting to get a little bit more over. This whole situation with him and Carmelo Hayes after the fact of this match, Oh shit! Because I didn't say how Andrade lost the match, but
no, you're good.
But
I feel like to build off what you said with Ray, I feel like when Ray is passionate, where he's in a passionate feud, is more so when he actually has better mic skills. When he's just doing random backstage stuff, I don't think that he talks very well. I think it's very, very Lashley-esque for those people that think, oh, Lashley can't talk, he can't talk. Lashley's a great talker, but you also got him. It's kind of like Orton too. Orton was not a great talker on like a lot of his feuds. I would say like 40% of his feuds. Randy probably mailed it in. But when you give him a feud, when you give him a feud that he actually cares about, he can I mean, Edge, AJ Styles, Triple H, Batista, Taker, right? But then you got all those other feuds, those tiny feuds in the middle, up Cena as well. You get those tiny feuds in the middle that it's like he mails in. Jinder Mahal, he mailed it in with Jinder. He mailed it in with Jinder. So once you get somebody that's passionate about what they're about to, the program they're about to get into, then you can pull it out of them. So
see, now here's the reason why I say that is because I can't remember a time, and I'm including WCW in this, where Rey Mysterio was a heel.
Never.
I can't remember.
Filthy Animals.
All right.
They technically were a heel group, but
no. But what I'm saying
is so anti at that time that even the anti people came off as cool, so they were never heels.
Like, you see how like Legado del Fantasma, you know, the main guy from Legado del Fantasma, he's a great
Santos Escobar.
Thank you. He's a great. You know what I mean? I think he would suck as a babyface. Well, he did, because when he was in LWO, he wasn't doing much, right? So like, but as a heel, that guy is great. I don't see that in Rey Mysterio. You know what I mean? Dominic Mysterio is probably the greatest heel in wrestling right now. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and I personally appreciate Ray because, I mean, he did so much for his son. Like, I've never seen anybody like Rocky Johnson couldn't have done that. Cowboy Bob Orton couldn't have done that. The Nature Boy Ric Flair couldn't have done that. And Rey Mysterio pretty much had a feud with his son. And one of the main reasons why his son gets booed off the stage is because of the love for his father. So like, you know, but then with that being said, you know, Rey Mysterio more than anything is a symbol. You know, he's a short guy. He does great moves. And, you know, he's a representation of Mexico hardcore. He's a representation of the West Coast hardcore. But at the same time, like, if Rey Mysterio ever did a heel move at this point, because he's a legend, I think he would just get a pop out of it. Kind of like John Cena making a heel turn. You know what I mean? Because everybody just wants it so much.
Like 10 years too late for John Cena.
Yeah,
like 20 years too late for Rey Mysterio.
And the same thing, and I feel the same way about Orton. You know what I mean? I think that if Orton were to turn heel, he'll get a huge pop because that was his best work. Like when he was fighting Hulk Hogan way back in the day, you know what I mean? And he was the legend killer and doing all of these different things. Like, I feel like the legend killer doesn't hit anymore because it's been so long. Orton has a freaking big gold title wrapped like a snake. You know what I mean? That they're selling at the shop for about $400. And you know what I mean? Like the guy's been around. Rey Mysterio has the same belt with the Mexican flag all over it. You know what I mean? Happy Independence Day to Mexico, by the way. And like, yo, you know, it's just hard for these guys to turn. If Orton does do a turn, I think I'll probably pop for it because I haven't seen it in a long time. You see how the pop that The Rock got when he became heel?
Listen, Hollywood Rock is goated. One of the greatest personas of a heel ever. And then he ups it up a notch in the Final Boss. The Final Boss is probably the greatest work from The Rock.
Yes.
Which is crazy because it's so part-time-ish. But getting back into this, because we could go on and on.
I'm talking too much, but you
I I think that you are absolutely right. This is absolutely him putting it over. And to go back to what Sabrina Stella said, he does look better than he did in AEW, and presentation matters, right? This is a good loss. This is a loss where it really could have went either way, and even though it didn't come up your way, it's nothing to be upset about. But he does get upset because later
You
we
know what?
see.
You know what thing I noticed though? The big difference that I noticed is that he did the figure eight in AEW. Why doesn't he do it in WWE?
You can't do your wife's move in the same
I
pose
don't
your
know
wife's
why. I don't understand why. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's like, especially now that she's out, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knows clearly, like, you know what I mean? Like, if Seth Rollins did a disarm her, I don't think it would be a problem. If Becky Lynch did a stomp, I don't think it would be an issue. You know what I mean?
I think Becky did do a stomp before when they did the little feud with Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin.
Okay.
When Corbin gave Becky Lynch the deep six. And that was like the first time we seen men slam women in like 20 years.
Facts. But you know what though? A deep six is easy to take. You know what I mean? They just got to put their
was
head.
it a deep? No, deep six is where he spins around. What's the other? And he gave her an end of days. He gave her the end of days.
Yeah. My bad.
Yeah,
my
he
bad.
gave her the end of days.
Yeah, but that's easy to take. That's not, you know what I mean?
It's easy to take, but it's the way that they presented the end of days was nobody has ever kicked out of the end of days. I mean, I don't know if they have now, but at that point in time, nobody ever kicked out of it in the 4 or 5 years that Corbin had been called up. So that was pretty crazy. But backstage,
Corbin is the leader of the Job Squad now. So.
Backstage, we see Andrade. He's pissed off. And for some reason, I just knew that this man was going to come around the corner. Only because Michael Cole then gave us, he finally told us that it was an actual series, right? But the fact that he numbered the series let me know subliminally, like, this is really not done. Nah. Even though he got the title match, right? So he says he won a series, a best of 5 series, winning 3-2. I'm like, okay, this is going to 7 because now they've actually made it and acknowledged it as a series. This has got to go to 7.
I'm feeling it because I think that Carmelo Hayes as a heel is gonna grow, and I think that this is working. You know what I mean? Carmelo Hayes is showing how annoyed he is at this situation because Melo don't miss and and this and that. You know what I mean? So it's
a terrible moniker for somebody that keeps losing. You know, like that's
straight up. You know what I mean? Straight up. I mean, personally, he got really, really good booking in NXT. And here it's kind of a crapshoot. I think that they're doing the most to try to get him over, and some of it is working. And mind you, but these two, they have chemistry, and their matches are quality. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I wonder if they're gonna end up as a team, but
I don't see them as a team. But this is
I'm just saying that
because
I'm really just saying that because of the bar. You know what I mean? Who knows if they?
This is a really good way to get people acclimated that Melo can wrestle. Like he's a shorter guy, but he actually can give you technicality. He can give you high flying. He can give you showmanship. And this is just to reintroduce who Andrade is. He's one of the best. He's one of the greatest Mexican wrestlers ever. And they just in an age where the WWE universe is now saying that they are they're loving the wrestling over the entertainment. You got a wrestler like Andrade who's giving that to you. So I think that it's just the way they're doing their presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So I think that if they keep doing this with both guys, they're still going to end up on the good side of promotion. And that's all you can ask for. If you've done that, you've done your job. Right? They've done their job. They've done what they're supposed to do as far as getting somebody over. I know that Chris and Steve like to focus on. You're welcome. Okay. I know that everybody, well, Chris and Steve like to they like to go off of T-shirt sales and all this jazz. That's not the move all the time.
I
It's
mean,
not the move all the time. Not everybody, but not everybody is going to be. Not everybody's going to be the main event at WrestleMania. Not everybody does that. It's not.
of
So
course,
I think that the problem is that they think that those people, just because you aren't the marquee guy, that you aren't a big deal. And hell, I keep using it, but X-Pac was a big deal in the Attitude Era. Billy Gunn was a big deal in the Attitude Era. You know where they also lived? In the mid-card. But they were associated with the marquee guy in Triple H. But nobody else out of DX was going to be the guy. They were never going to be the guy. Nation of Domination. Farouk was the leader, right? But he was never a marquee guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was never a marquee guy.
Hey, listen, man. That's Ron Simmons we're talking about here. That's the hardest. That's the James Brown of the wrestling industry. Your man, if you go see Ron Simmons at an autograph signing, what? That man's line is long because he is a football champion and the first Black WCW champion, and the man made history. You know what I mean? So he's definitely got a fan base. I do agree with you that he wasn't the shining star of the Nation of Domination. Yes, I do agree with you. But we would not speak slander on Ron Simmons.
No, it's not slander, but it's just mid-card guys can still be over and not have to surpass the top guy just to be
LA Knight,
quote unquote, over. LA Knight, yeah, he's a mid-card guy. He's going to live on the mid-card for the rest of his WWE career. He would never be a world champion.
See, here's the thing. I feel like they don't know what direction to go because the guy is super over and selling a whole bunch of shirts, right? You know, to the point of beating Cody Rhodes a couple times. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the business model. Business model is to get a person over to that point. But
you know what it is? It's the Miz effect. The Miz shattered that man on the microphone. Roman Reigns did the same thing. You can't. Who in the marquee? Anybody that you see in a main event spot that LA Knight can out muscle on a microphone? Is it Kevin Owens? Probably not. Cody Rhodes? Nah. AJ Styles? Mm-mm. Randy Orton? Nah. Roman Reigns? Nope.
I think LA Knight could be AJ Styles on the mic.
You see AJ Styles versus Randy Orton on the microphone?
I see that. Yeah, but Randy Orton, I feel like Randy Orton can't fuck with LA Knight on the mic. You know what I mean? Maybe if he's like
you said Randy Orton can't fuck with LA Knight on the microphone. Listen, you need to go back and watch the feud between Edge and Orton.
How many years ago was that?
5, 6? Don't matter.
I mean, look. See, here's the thing. The reason I say that is, look, Paul Heyman is the greatest of all time when it comes to mic skills, in my opinion. Why? Because he can go off the top of the dome. Nothing scripted. I don't believe that Randy Orton can do that. I really don't. I think that LA Knight can do that. But I certainly do not think that Randy Orton can do that. Randy Orton,
LA Knight can.
Very good.
I watch a lot of Eli Drake / LA Knight, and he does get stumbled. Paul Heyman gets stumbled sometimes as well, but
that's
it's just the way that he's able to. It's just the way that he's able to spin it. But back to this,
his spin game, his talk game is amazing. I think the only other two people that compare to Paul Heyman are The Miz and John Cena. Right, so those guys on the mic,
I can see that.
You know what I mean? Amazing, like to the point where when Cena has a mic in his hands, everybody's excited to listen. You know,
everybody does love an underdog. When the underdog is when the underdog never seems like the underdog, or he's presenting like a big deal. You've erased the underdog aura about him, and that's the
I
thing.
mean,
That's the issue I think is with
well,
LA Knight.
but that's what happened to Bianca Belair, and then she became a babyface, and then it was just like Cena again. You know what I mean? Even though she was a great symbol, she was a great symbol of Black girl magic and all of these things, and then you have that now with her and Jade Cargill still. But then there's a plateau to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a plateau to that. So I'm curious to see how far that goes. But some people just work better as a heel. Now, personally, after seeing all of this, actually no, when LA Knight was the $1 million champion, I thought he had very good mic skills even then as a heel. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying, like, this guy's got, but at the same time, LA Knight's been around for a long time. He's in his 40s. He was in TNA and all of that. So he got to be seasoned. You know what I mean? But the guy's got great skills on the mic. And that's why I say he could beat Randy Orton. But anyway, I'm going too far into that because now I'm rambling like you wiping ass again. So,
all right. So going back into this, Carmelo tells him that before he puts the fries in the bag, make sure he washes them. I thought that was hilarious, and they just started brawling. In which he washed Carmelo. He picked that man up about 2-3 times. He slammed him into the trunk.
Facts.
How you talk that trash? You got washed, my guy. You got washed. But then they let us know that we're going to get Carmelo Hayes and Andrade Part 6.
Mm-hmm.
Next
Carmelo will
Friday
clearly win
to force the 7. Yeah, this is Booker T and Benoit all over again, in which the greatest 7 match series I've ever witnessed. And then right under that would be Cesaro and Sheamus. But this is very entertaining. This is very close. However, it's just character-wise, I get what they're trying to do with them. But if these guys should have been, Carmelo should be more established as a character, and then maybe you could probably put a little bit more respect on and put it in a different light than like a Booker T and a Benoit or a Cesaro and Sheamus. But I still think both guys are still in a really good position. Ladies and gentlemen, we are yeah, but you don't want to get in a brawl with a Latina. He just washed him. You're supposed to be ready for the brawl if you want to say that man's supposed to wash the potatoes before you put them in the bag. Like you should automatically know what's going on with that. I'm gonna skip ahead to this short match before we go ahead and take a break, because this match was nothing to talk about. But I do love the aura of Mr. Giovanni Vinci. I like what they're doing with his character. I don't know. I just like what they're doing with his character. He's a pompous, brash asshole he's just got money and he thinks that he could do whatever he wants besides wrestle good. So he faced off against Apollo Crews last week. He even get a chance to take off his track pants. He had no chance to take them off. So this week he says that, let him be ready. He's going to be ready this time. And quick match. Very quick match, honestly. Less than 7 minutes. I don't even know. It's so short that I don't even have a clip of this thing. So I'm just gonna put this a roll up. This was the match, a roll up.
It's interesting because everybody knows that Giovanni Vinci was kicked out of Imperium, right? And then
they kicked him out of Imperium and kicked him off a roll.
Right. So now they repackaged him as some type of Italian god, but then they have him losing to the Job Squad. You know what I mean? So when that match was over, my only reaction was that was my reaction because I'm just like, yo, what is this? You know what I mean? Because like, what's going on here? I'm not, mind you, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to see Apollo Crews get a W. But then it was just weird. It's just weird because I've never usually like when they present somebody new or try to present somebody as new, they give them the W right away in order to make them.
Hey, there's bad guy Jack.
You know what I mean? Like
Giovanni, listen, they gave Giovanni Vinci, they gave him a touch of evolution. They gave him a dash of Alberto Del Rio.
mhm.
They gave him hints of Happy Corbin.
Okay.
They gave him shades of Wade Barrett.
Facts.
They put all this money in these vignettes. And the swerve is they present. Usually, if you put in this type of vignette around somebody, they're kind of like a big fucking deal, right? And they're a big deal, and they're gonna win, right? They're gonna win their re-debut. They're gonna go on a nice little run. No, WWE swerve the dog shit out of us, which I think is genius. Like, I think it's to me what I am interpreting early of Giovanni Vinci's character is that he's using his persona. He's using his persona to talk for him and not his wrestling skills. So I think that he's going to have to scale back, and he's getting humbled because he's thinking that the things that he has is what's going to propel him to be looked at or taken seriously, and it's not. So I think that that's where they might be going with him. I'd be surprised if they do not swerve. Wow.
I second.
Alberto Del Rio, but Alberto Del Rio is he is a scholar, and I'm not going to say a gentleman because we know what he did to Paige, but he's a hell of a Mexican wrestler.
No,
I will say that. El
Listen,
Patreon is goated.
I mean, look, the
Bad
best.
guy, it's okay, back. Listen, not only on Tuesday, we're not doing this right now. I have a proposition. I think that we can work together. We can work together. Everybody can be in harmony. We need a nice moderator. Sabrina has a nice speaking voice. We need a nice moderator for our show. So that's what we need her for. It's okay, bad guy. It's okay. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, look,
no, there's never no shade. This show is too cool to have shade. We are the shade, brother.
We sitting in the sun. There's no shade around. We're saying we in the desert, shining high. We in Vegas. You feel me? There's no shade. Shoot fly with all that shade. Anyway, when it comes to Alberto Del Rio, the best part about him was Ricardo Rodriguez. You know what I mean? His entrance. That was the best part of Alberto Del Rio. I'm not saying the guy can't work. I'm not saying any of those things. But saying my destiny over and over, and just presenting you as JBL. It didn't work. It didn't. I mean, like, mind you, yes, I got you to the championship and blah blah blah. But then when Dolph Ziggler got one of the biggest pops for taking that belt off of you, as one of the most memorable Money in the Bank cash-ins of all time, right? And
like Eggman and Sonic.
Nobody batted an eye when you lost the belt. When CM Punk beat you for the belt here in New York, nobody batted an eye.
But part of getting that huge pop that these two losses or changing of the guard was for Alberto with those two guys. He'd have to be an asshole of a champion, right? That people want the belt to get off of. So he's done his job.
I mean, look, the one thing that I appreciate from that whole feud between CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio is that CM Punk brought out Howard Finkel. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was the best part. But other than that feud isn't memorable at all because Alberto never had the mic skills. Now, take Alberto Del Rio and put his ass in AAA.
Yeah, he had a nice scarf. I love the scarf.
He will blow the roof off of that place. I personally think that MJF got his gimmick from up there.
Oh, he for sure. He for sure did.
I personally think that. But MJF is pulling it off 1,000 times better.
I don't think so. Niggas ain't fucking with Burberry no more. Niggas really don't fuck with Burberry no more. That shit's played out. I'm dead ass. Motherfuckers don't fuck with Burberry no more. But we're gonna take a quick break. We're halfway through this. We're halfway through this thing. We're going to get into what Byron Saxton kept hounding Kevin Owens about. And then we'll get into the Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns meeting at Georgia Tech 50-yard line and the main event. KO and DIY versus the Bloodline, but DIY gets replaced. So, y'all stay tuned. This is Smackdown Penitentiary. We want to get y'all a quick commercial here. Actually, you know what? Nobody has commercials. I think I'm the only person that makes commercials. All right, here we go. Commercial.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Like, I cannot think that Dom, who's recently married, his wife is okay with him slobbing on, Liv Morgan, right? I can't. Oh, Liv is all over. She's calling the man daddy. She's calling what happens when a woman call you daddy. You already know somebody call you daddy, what that means, right? He's simping over Rhea. He's dying to take her to Waffle House. It's cheap, but it's good. It's cheap, but it's good. Just like those IHOP pancakes right now. All you can eat $5 right now. That's a perfect date. If y'all like breakfast food, that's a perfect date. If I'm Buddy Matthews and I got Oos hawking over my woman, hey, Rhea, let me see your phone. Let me see your phone. I got to do a phone check because these Samoans, they some handsome bitches. You don't want them damn tribal tattoos? If I was a woman, give me a Uso. Give me a Roman. Give me some handsome bitches. The woman is posting in that man's shirts. He's googly eyes over her. She's starting to get googly eyed over him. She starts saying the yeet, licking her tongue out at him, batting her eyelids, wearing her pants a little bit too tight. When is too far? Y'all cross the lines. We seen it before. What? Macho Man? Huh? Macho Man did? Lex Luger? Huh? Did Hogan do something with Queen Elizabeth? We'll never know. Maybe. Edge, Lita. Who else? Jeff Jarrett? Kurt Angle? This ain't too far off. Where there's smoke, there's fire. The king of rock, cool. The king of rock, one. The king of rock, cool. The king of rock. That was yours truly, your boy, filling in for Mr. Mike Knox. You can catch him every 6 p.m. For the Mike Knox show. Had a great time doing that show for him, and shout out to him and his beautiful, lovely wife Amir. They are celebrating their anniversary. I think they said 21 years. God damn! I know they sick of each other, but black love, y'all, black love. All right, back to the show now. Oh, we got the executive contradiction here. Our fearless leader. He's here now. So what are we talking about?
Oh, here comes the wooden spoon.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, my love. I never have boring commercials. We have the best commercials. If we don't get an award for the best commercials, this is a catastrophe to keep the black man down. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to get into this cinema, this Academy Award winning cinema. This is one of the best pieces. This is Rock Austin-esque. And I saw a lot of people in the internet wrestling community. First of all, the presentation of this was crazy. The sky shots of the 6, I don't know what he has, 6 Suburbans, 6 SUVs, like he's the president. I'm like, he's still rolling like he's bloodline. He's still moving like this is bloodline business. And Cody just comes in his souped up 2-seater. He had 7 SUVs. 7. Like he the president. Like he
rolling through, like going to the UN or something.
Yeah, he parked all of them on the field. He walks out, does the little, little hand thing, the Birdman hand rub a little bit, and gets to the 50. Funny story. Georgia Tech is actually my favorite college team. It's my favorite college football team. Only because I was playing football for Salvation Army, and they gave me they draft you over there. They drafted me to a team called the Yellow Jackets, and my dad told me, hey, you know, there's an actual team named the Yellow Jackets. I was like, where? And he's like, Georgia Tech. I'm like, so I never know. I still don't know anything about college. I can give a good dog damn about college football. It's too many players, too many people to keep up with, too many damn schools. But college basketball, I'll take it. But I am a Georgia Tech football fan, so I was aware of Roman Reigns on the field. But Cody comes up, he's looking at, he's got the belt, and Roman has got his eye locked on the belt, kind of gives him like a little smirk. And I say that this is very Rock Austin-esque, because the only thing that you're missing in this is a moderator in JR. In which you could have had Michael Cole do this, sit down on the 50-yard line, sort of like how they do on Sunday football in the morning time, when we're all getting ready to watch the 1:00 games. You'll have Aaron Andrews sit down with somebody at their field on the 50-yard line and do that, lights low and all that. That's cool. But the way that they both spoke, and Roman goes, you know who you are? This is my town. This is my city, right? Like, my guy, you live in Pensacola. This stopped being your city a long time ago. This not even your hometown. Which was the irony of everything. And Roman also let Cody know that this is family business. This is family business. And I said this to somebody who had this theory of when the next person of the bloodline is going to come, right? And he goes, who's the 7-foot Samoan? It starts with an H. Hideko. I don't know what the fuck his name is, but anyway, he's the rumored god. So this person has this theory that Cody and Roman will win at Bad Blood. What does that do for either guy? It does nothing to progress this story. They will lose at Bad Blood.
I think it does, because look, one thing that I appreciated about the promos was when Cody said, you remember when I told you this prior to WrestleMania 39? That basically they were all going to leave you, and you were going to lose all of them, and you were going to have nothing but privacy, right? And he's still talking to that heel Roman, because the thing is that, look, when he first came out with the OTC shirt and just beat everybody up and didn't say anything, everybody was giving.
That's his greatest promo, Chris. My promo is his greatest. Go ahead, Vic. I'm sorry.
Everybody was giving him the praise like a babyface, like he just did a babyface return, right? But he's still the same. He's still doing his heel work promos. He's still acting the same, right? So one thing I appreciated about this is that they were able to kind of dive deep into the characters without a crowd, kind of like during the Thunderdome era. Like, this reminded me of Thunderdome Roman a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He didn't have, he's not asking anybody to acknowledge him or anything like that, but you know, his promo is just like, this is mine, this belongs to me, blah blah blah.
Are you noticing that every time he's coming around on screen or he's walking around, he's always giving you this, and he's looking because he's used to seeing Paul Heyman by his side? Have you noticed that?
Facts. Yeah.
That is a great tidbit. I was not noticing that until somebody on Facebook made that known, and I started to go back to since he returned, and yeah, he's been doing it. I mean, when he stops in his music, and you know, he looks, and before his music hits the bass drop, he looks. Before he gets to the steps, he looks. When he gets in the ring, to get the microphone. He looks. I think he forgets that shit. I got to get the microphone. So like he's still depending on somebody to handle the microphone because we saw last week he hit Nick Aldis with the come on, big dog, put this shit in my hand. I don't want the contract. Give me the microphone. So I think that he's gradually getting humbled with the realization that things aren't what they once were. And you are absolutely right. Cody did tell him that. Before their match at Mania, in which I would have to say, I know the excitement about 40. I still say that 39 is one of the greatest. I will put 39 in my top 10 of WrestleMania main event matches. I think that match was really good. I think the storytelling in that match was better than the storytelling in Mania this year.
Nah.
Yeah.
For Undertaker to come out and do it, bro.
Undertaker had no business being out there. Like you cannot connect the dots. You can't connect the dots between Rock and Taker. The clear-cut favorite was Stone Cold.
That was the biggest surprise.
Stone Cold.
That was the biggest surprise. That was a better surprise than Nia Jax coming out into the men's Royal Rumble. Like that.
39 is absolutely
a massive.
39 is absolutely in my top 10. It's one of my favorites to go back and watch in its entirety. I'm not skipping any matches. I'm not skipping those segments. I'm nothing. I'm watching that thing full on, bell to bell, time to time.
I'm not saying it wasn't good, but comparing
all I'm saying is Taker had no business. You know how many times Rock and Taker actually engaged through their careers? Most of it was the Attitude Era. They hardly did in Ruthless Aggression, right? So like he had no history with Cody Rhodes.
No,
Taker had no history with Cody Rhodes, and he had no history with Rock. It made no sense.
Listen, who was the judge of the kangaroo court in the locker room?
The kangaroo court?
Yeah. Whenever shit went down, who was the one who riled up all the boys and put them in line? The dead man. That's why he's
Infinity War is absolutely
final boss. You know what I'm saying? The real final boss is Taker. And Taker came out and handled business and chokeslammed the hell. And
I never do this. I'm sorry. I never do this.
Oh, hell. He gave him a chokeslam to hell. And the final boss is gone. You know what I mean? He's got his little Muhammad Ali belt. You know what I'm saying? A final boss got chokeslammed to hell. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Rock fan. You know what I'm saying? But Undertaker coming out and doing that was an inferno match. You heard? That was better than MVP getting burnt. You heard? That was fire. Anyway, I'm talking too much.
You got the ghost of WrestleMania. Exactly. He won't die. He won't go away. Like we didn't need you here at Mania. Jeez.
Yes, we did. That was a huge pop. That was amazing. And yeah.
Thank you. This is my point. This was my point, Chris. Thank you for elaborating on this. Rock and Taker, yeah, they did have feuds, right? Corporation Rock versus the Ministry of Darkness. Yeah, cool. Like, yeah, they did that. They did a feud on SmackDown in the Ruthless Aggression era. But yeah, it was never a true feud. Rock has had true feuds with Austin, Triple H, Angle, and Jericho, and all of those feuds were better than his and Taker's. That's what I'm talking about. He had no business being out there with the Rock.
Ministry of Darkness was an extension of the corporation. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing between Rock and Taker was just, where Taker was just being one of Vince's goons. You know what I mean? No.
I get it. So Roman, this is what Roman does when he's shut down on the microphone, right? After he does this is my city. See, you in the stadium because of me. This is my turf. Everything is mine, right? And then he goes, I don't need the Ulufala, right? And Cody goes, well, you lost that. You lost your bloodline. You lost your wise man. You lost your Ulufala. You lost your belt. And then like he's shutting down. So Roman goes, what do you want from me? What do you like? You know, when you lost the argument, it's like, all right, we're done with this part of this conversation. What do you want from me, right? Like, what do you right? So then he goes, I want your word. I want your word that you will have my back. And which I thought was stupid, right? Like, Cody, you obviously see that Roman has an issue with the bloodline, and the bloodline have an issue with Roman. Do you think he's magically just going to like turn on you and join those guys? I don't think so, but like, or does he think that Roman would just like, all right, tag me in, drop off the apron, walk back? I ain't doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless that's where he's thinking about. But I felt like for Cody to ask that, it was kind of asinine. But still a really good segment. Chris is saying their allergy attack at the end of this thing, in which I didn't notice, so I will have to go back and watch this. Listen, this the facial expressions on Roman are top tier, man. He's top tier, yo. You can't make this up, man. He's literally like, yeah, he's letting Hollywood know, like, I can give you everything you need in Hollywood. I'm better than John Cena. I'm better than Dwayne. I'm better than Dave. Actually, I think Dave Bautista is the best WWE turned actor. Rock was that guy, but Batista's had roles that are making him appear very much like he's taking his craft very seriously.
Don't get me wrong, he's a good actor, but I mean, you know.
I did not see this, and I want to play it, but like I have to watch it. I have to watch it off air. Because I don't want to.
I got to see that again because I didn't peep that.
I felt like it's around this part. I feel like it's around that part, but so this clip is on Twitter. It's about 6 minutes. It's about 6 minutes long. That's how long it was from the time they stepped foot on the field. But overall, I cannot wait to see Bad Blood. Charmaine, thank you for stopping by. She cannot wait to see you guys sing karaoke next Saturday. I am a karaoke machine, but I am not going to New York. This is, I mean, Sabrina, you are absolutely right, but this is also how the two-man power trip in Triple H and Austin were formed, and they ended up being a very formidable team that took over Monday Night Raw for a good month and a half, 2 months. It wasn't very long. It was just an alliance, but it was an enemy of my enemy is my friend type situation. So I thought I think this is still cool, but this it does give Cody something, right? And clearly what we are going to see is Kevin Owens is going to finally lose his shit with Cody Rhodes. And we got teased with it. Pause. We got teased with it last night again, and I really thought it was about to happen, and we got nothing. So we're still waiting. We're still waiting on that.
I thought that was interesting though. That whole chair thing, because it kind of makes it feel like Kevin Owens is going to turn heel, but with reason, because I think that whole emphasis on what's Kevin Owens thinking, like I felt like they were pushing that narrative pretty hard, even to the point where he was about to say something in the ring and then got interrupted. Like they're really pushing the whole situation. But then at the same time, I wonder if he is going to turn heel because he's got all these babyface tag teams trying to help him out. You know what I mean? So like, you know, I'm very curious to see what happens with Kevin Owens, because for a while I felt like they really didn't know what to do with him. You know? So at this point, but then, you know, what would it be for unless it's a match to face Cody Rhodes again. But then I certainly don't see Cody Rhodes dropping the belt to Kevin Owens. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
be a waste. You know?
That man ain't never going to touch that belt again. Sami Zayn ain't never going to touch the world championship. It's just one that you had your one time. You had your one time, and that's it. That's it. Unfortunately, the talent has surpassed you, and it's not really Eddie. It's nobody's fault. It's not your fault. It's just one of those things where the talent has passed him, and he can't. Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll touch it, but he won't be the owner of it. He'll touch it. He'll grab it. He'll hold it up, but he won't be the rightful owner of it. I don't think so. I don't think so.
That was corny, Chris. That was very corny. You really deserve some ice for that. You know what I mean? But I can't find the corn because that was bad guy Jack level. You can do better than that, Chris.
So now for everybody here who knows the way that I feel about Miss Pamela Rose Martinez, I was at the edge of my seat all freaking night, dreading the inevitable. Because Chris had he drilled it in my mind that Bayley was going to lose, was going to go to Raw. I was dreading it. I said, man, if this is going to be the last time I see Bayley on SmackDown, this is going to be trash. I thought they were going to get, in the words of Bad Guy Jack, I'm not going to lie, I thought they were going to get dominated.
For a second, I thought Tiffany Stratton was going to take the L.
After, you know what? After they had brought it up during the match, I kind of thought the same thing in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to whoever this is that I have their content right now, because I'm not looking. I just look for the stuff. But they got a nice little video package here of the match. I can't fully play it, but basically a little rundown. They did a lot of double teaming on Nia, and Nia's doing heel work. She was twerking.
Mm-hmm.
She was mocking Naomi. Look at her twerking right now. Go ahead, Nia, with your big ass. Look at that. She was. Naomi can't even keep a straight face.
She couldn't. That shit was hilarious.
So I thought that this was a really good, like I said at the beginning of the show, this is a really good tornado tag match. If this was a regular traditional tag match, I don't think it would have been that great.
No.
The fact that it was a tornado tag match made it that much more better. A few spots that they had where there was some miscues. There was a lot of like they were yelling to get in the spots. That's just a nitpick of mine that I have watching certain type of wrestling, usually women's wrestling. But towards the end, they hit her with a 1D, which was nuts. I didn't expect that. I did not expect that.
That kind of, it was interesting because it kind of shows how much of a team they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like friends that they are. Because Naomi was clearly around way before Bayley. So, they must have been backstage girls, like, you know what I mean? For a long time and friends for a long time.
Yeah.
So they, it kind of worked out. But, the one thing that was interesting about that whole thing was that funny looking pin at the end, because like it looked like Naomi had gone for the pin and like just put Bayley in between them. You know what I mean?
I think that it ended exactly the way that they wanted it to.
I mean, they're
It's
certainly
just
telling the same story, but I don't think that pin was supposed to go there.
no. I think they did exactly what they were supposed to do. I'm not just saying that because I wanted it to happen. It's just the fact that I said it last week only because I was trying to put it into fruition that it was going to be a double pin. Now, I just thought that both of them was going to lie on top of Nia's big ass. That's all I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But they got creative with it. What was not legal about the pin? What was legal? What was not legal about the pin? Because I thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty clean for both of them.
No, it looked like Naomi was the one that was doing the pin, and Bailey was just caught up in the middle. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it looked like. I mean, I gotta look at it back and see again, but that's what it looked like. So then for them to have this whole thing, even though like I had a feeling it was gonna do this, or it was gonna lead to them going into a match against each other.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm curious to see what happens. And personally, I'm hoping that this is leading to a Naomi heel turn.
Oh my God! Again with the.
I would love to see it. I really would. I would love to see it. I would pop so hard for a Naomi heel turn.
What's illegal about this pin here?
And here's the thing with that, right? All of this can come from her frustration of coming back and not getting the respect she deserves. And why do I say that? She came out to an amazing entrance, right? Did her whole thing. I think her music changed a little bit, and it's set up to a point where the audience can easily follow. And even when she does her poop, I'm sorry to say, but nobody cared. You know what I mean? As soon as Bailey came out, mind you, Bailey is the hometown girl. They're in California. Okay. So she gets the big pop and blah, blah, blah. And, not, also Bailey is Bailey. You feel what I'm saying? But I have a feeling that, this might lead to so much frustration for Naomi where, she just came from TNA where she was a big deal. She was a champion. She wants this championship, and she's not getting it by being a good girl. Maybe she's going to get some inspiration from Team Bad and do something. Now, I'm rambling over here, so that you look at your phone and talk to your son real quick. But
no, I'm good. No, I just want to know what's illegal about this pin here.
Look at Naomi's feet during the entry.
Were they under the rope? I mean, it still doesn't matter. The ref didn't see it,
Facts.
So it don't matter. It don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter. Cause it don't matter. No.
At the end of the day, like they're both gonna fight each other, right? I think that Bailey's gonna win. But if Naomi beats Bailey, I wouldn't be mad at it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like
Naomi needs a big win.
Yeah, I feel like she deserves a shot. She's clearly not gonna beat Nia Jax, but I feel like she deserves a shot to get some more shine. Because unfortunately, like, you know what I mean? She's like Kofi Kingston. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
Very little mic skills, but great in the ring. You know what I mean? She's the Black Natty. You feel me?
Oh God.
She's a funkadactyl, bro. Like she's ruthless aggression era. You know what I'm saying? Like she's been around. She's only in her 30s. Don't get me wrong. She's young. She's got years ahead of her. She's only like 36. But
that's old for a woman in wrestling.
Not now. I don't think so, bro. Because the shit is just that
an athletic woman in wrestling over 35. That's kind of.
She can still work. She can definitely.
That's kind of. I don't know. That's kind of old.
Yeah, I mean, she's not gonna do the shit that the girls in NXT are doing, but she could definitely work. She's still, you know what I mean? I feel like Naomi still got at least another 10 years. And mind you, look, how old is Melina?
Melina?
Yeah, Melina. How old is she? She got to be pushing 50.
I'll say 46. Oh, let me see.
So she's been running around the indie scene for years, and she was from the Ruthless Aggression era.
Oh,
you know what
I was
mean?
close. It was 45.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
but doing a WWE schedule and an indie schedule is two different things.
No, I agree. But my point is just that you're still taking bumps. You know what I mean?
True.
Still taking bumps. You're still doing moves. You still, taking risks at that age, and you're still doing stuff. I mean, like, even if Naomi in another 10 years, I think Naomi will still be around and she'll be getting the Randy Orton treatment and all of that. And yeah, but I still think that she'll definitely still be able to do that. I mean, look, Mickie James, Trish Stratus.
Thicky Mickey was different. Thicky Mickey wasn't super athletic like Naomi is. She wasn't doing flips and moonsaults and shit.
I mean, yeah, but
she
look,
was more technical.
Kofi Kingston isn't doing the same moveset that he did before. He's not.
That's why the aura of Kofi Kingston has died because he's not the same.
I mean, outside of WrestleMania 35, one else was there in aura for like, you know what I mean? For Kofi Kingston, and shout out to Daniel Bryan for putting him over like that. You know what I mean? Because when else have you seen that for Kofi Kingston? You feel me? And that was a great title run too, because he got to rekindle his whole shit with Randy Orton at Madison Square Garden, put him through the table, all of that. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
but then when Brock Lesnar squashed him on the first night of SmackDown Fox, then what? Never saw any redemption for that. Never got his title.
Black wrestler killer.
Facts. And then Kofi just went off into the sunset, smiling and cheesing.
Yeah. So after the match, we see Bayley and Naomi. And you know what? I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Anytime this lovely, luscious, thick-assed, my shaved head queen is on our screens, we simply would just like to say hashtag I love you, Pamela Martinez. All right, now, can anybody tell me what the hell was up with Naomi's gear? She's supposed to be Luigi or some shit. What the fuck is this? I don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah, it looks phoned in. Like she usually does the most. She usually does the most. Like she straight up came like she came out of bed. You know what I mean? Like she was giving like Jimmy Uso vibes when he had that fuzzy beard. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what's going on with them. You know.
I think all this says, excuse me. They both have a right. They both have a point because they did pin Nia. And at this point, I thought he was going to make it a triple threat, which I kind of predicted last week. But says that the winner of them two versus each other would be going on to Bad Blood to face Nia Jax, in which I still think that it will be a triple threat. Now, overall, that leading all up to that, we're getting I'm sorry, get my results here. We get, for the main event, we get Kevin Owens and DIY versus the Bloodline. However, before DIY can even get out there, they are attacked by the Bloodline, which is funny because in the ring, as they do the shot of Kevin Owens watching the beatdown, you could hear him mouthing off like, "Oh, I should have known. Like, I should have known better." he should have known better that is what was going to happen. And at that point, we really didn't. I thought that this was probably just going to be a beat down, in which I think most people thought that it was going to be a beat down.
Mm-hmm.
And the Street Profits music hits, and they come out to save the day, which I thought was a really good touch because I completely forgot about the Street Profits, unfortunately.
Oh, that's what happened. That's what happened. They've won championships, they've gotten to the top, and now they're stale. So, yeah. However, they had a really great showing. They really did.
Montez showed his ass off.
Is he bigger?
He looks bigger. Pause.
He does. Like, he looks like he's put on a bunch of muscle.
He definitely looked like he's getting more top heavy.
Yeah.
Kevin O was ready to take them boys on by itself. But the fact that the Profits came down, it definitely made it a much better match, a much better ending for SmackDown. And I would say that they win by disqualification only because, and I saw somebody making a big deal about this on Twitter, and it was Dawkins getting rammed into the steel steps, and the ref immediately called off the match.
Yeah, that's weird.
Does that bother you? Because some refs let it go, some refs don't.
I mean, everybody gets thrown into the steel steps. I feel like that's not disqualifiable unless you pick the steps up and hit somebody with them. Because I feel like that spot is maybe in 90% of the matches. Male, female, everybody gets thrown into those stairs. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was weird. But then the other thing that was weird is that I thought they were gonna throw Kevin into the table. I thought they were gonna do that shield move.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I thought they were gonna do, because I think that if they would have done that, it would have been, another thing I thought they were gonna do was Roman's ooh-ah.
I thought so as well. I thought they were definitely gonna mock him.
Yeah. Like that shit, if they do that, like I think that would definitely get the crowd to boo the hell out of it.
They did attack the Street Profits on Tuesday. So yeah. Okay. Is Chris still in here? Because I want to go over this right here. Did you see when this man threw the chair at the goat and he ate the chair? It wasn't even a hard throw, which is the problem. Watch this. Let me turn the sound down. I don't want to get copyrighted. Yeah. Hey, listen, what? Like, he hit the way that he just throws his chair. I'm very surprised that Chris had nothing to say about that, but had something to say about allergies. It's still clearly, Jacob, he's the one. Jacob is the one.
Mm-hmm.
It's very clear, and the fact that they're putting this in storyline that he's the one. He's literally being presented like or as better than Solo did when he came up.
Solo got no mic skills.
You said Solo don't have mic skills?
He's getting better.
I think he's much better than people give him credit for.
Yeah, he's getting
much better. And
I mean,
Jacob
like
is the one that cannot talk, in my opinion. He could do backstage interviews.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a very well spoken talent when you're just doing an interview, but when you're doing this, I don't think that he talks very. He just shouts a bunch of shit. Like,
well, he's definitely giving Wild Samoan still. But I'm literally just saying that off of his mic skills and MLW, right? Even though it's totally different, this is a lot more scripted and shit like that. Still, like I think that Solo, yeah, man. I when it comes to all of them, and I'm talking Jimmy, Jay, all of them, they're seasoned, so they got much better mic skills than Solo will. But yeah, so far I still think that he's just good at like saying his lines, doing his faces, and doing and just giving that Taz look, because he's the only.
I think that Solo is better a better talker than what you give him credit for, because he's learned from Roman talking the past 2 years. Roman is very methodical, very cerebral, very calculated with the way he talks, and Solo was emulating that, right? I don't expect Solo to be hyped like Jay and Jimmy, right? No, I don't think that Solo can do that. I don't think that Roman can do that. That's their thing, right? Jacob is just, again, what you said, Wild Samoan. He's just yelling everywhere for no reason. For no reason, just yelling for nothing. And usually they always say the ones that pipes up the loudest usually are really the quietest. They're the bitches. That's what they say on the streets though. So
Facts.
Sabrina, see, I believe that Tonga Loa does know that we calling out his botches. He's doing it. He's trolling us. He's trolling us, trolling him. Shout out to my guy Bad Justice. Thank you for stopping by.
I did
talk to you a little bit later, brother.
I did appreciate how Tama Tonga came out saying how he's the right hand man, because I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
I totally forgot he was a right hand man.
They don't even tell us that shit anymore either.
No, they don't.
Which is the problem.
And I forgot what MFT stood for.
I'm pretty sure it's My Family Tree. I want to say it's My Family Tree.
Okay.
I want to say it's My Family Tree.
Okay.
Overall, we thought this moment here, I mean, the way that Kevin's breathing, he's doing the huffing and puffing, and man, and then Cody stopped and he hesitated, and I said, yes, this is it. This is it. And he looked back. I said, yeah, he's about to do it now. He's about to do him in. Nothing. Something has to give with this. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of both of these motherfuckers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sick of it. But something will happen with Kevin in reference to Cody at Bad Blood. I think it comes to a head at Bad Blood. I think maybe Kevin interferes.
If Kevin interferes, then I think that's the only way that Cody and Roman lose this match. You know what I mean?
I think that they lose by Kevin interfering or just Cody taking the pin, and it's going to come down to, we lost this match because you aren't my family. I truly believe that. I think that then the pieces start to fall into place. You got to get the wise man together. Get the wise man to get Jimmy. Jimmy has to go and apologize and check on Jay for, Jay's going to lose that match at Bad Blood. Well, actually, no, it's this is this Monday. So unless something happens in that match and they give him a rematch at Bad Blood, Jay's not going to win that Intercontinental Championship. Sammy's not going to win at Bad Blood. Both of those guys are going to be down in the dumps, in which they've already slated that they want to be an actual tag team.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be working on that for a little bit. And Jimmy will have to come to Jay and be humble and, say he's seeing what he's been doing on Raw, how he's his own man. He's selling out shirts. He's on main events on Raw. Like, he has to come in humble and get Jay's side, and Jay has to speak with Sammy. And then if you can get Jay, then you get Jay. Jay can talk to Sammy. there is your original bloodline backed by Roman's side. Maybe if for one
What
night
though?
only, but
Though, and mind you, this is just the results of some doom scrolling. There was some rumors going around how Jimmy is not coming back for a while. Like apparently he's still hurt over something, or something's going on with him.
I think you know what I think is Rikishi, man. Rikishi got to shut the fuck up at this point. Real talk, he's got to shut the fuck up.
What Rikishi said?
Well, Rikishi said he was on his podcast and he said just talk to Jimmy or some shit and just talk to Jimmy and just want to not going to get into it, but thoughts and prayers with Jimmy. He's doing okay. Like what the fuck is you doing right now?
What does that mean? Thoughts and prayers, like, you know.
Now see, the problem is I don't like if he would have said this. He said, "Dear God, praying for strength and health to continue. Stay prayed for my boy Jonathan." Now,
very vague. Like, what do you mean?
It's very vague, but I don't know if Jimmy's not. He wasn't even technically injured when he got written off of TV.
But he got written off of TV for a reason. I forget what that reason is.
Yeah, well, one is to replace, what they got going on, but at the same time, it's your son is in the midst of the biggest storyline in wrestling history. Why the fuck would you say some shit like this and make fans go ape shit?
Facts.
If it's not true, I don't think that it's true. I don't think that it's true. Jimmy has been off TV for what, 3 months now? 4 months? Now, unless he was doing some fuck shit on the side and fucked up the church's money, that's the only way I can see it. But
that makes sense.
I don't think it's anything. But he's also, let's not forget, like a few weeks ago, he got fucking butthurt about the shit with Jay and Rhea. But this shit's been going on for a whole year. Talking about, they're gonna break up that man's marriage, this and that. Which I get it in that sense. I said it. That's what that commercial was about. I get it. They are way too close, and you can't tell me that there is not some sort of attraction there that is not just on screen. That's all I'm saying. But for him to come out and say that shit, I don't know if Jay is actually married or not. We only see his son. We never see his wife. I don't know if he's married still or if you know what I'm saying, but Rikishi got to shut the fuck up. That's all I'm saying. He got to shut the fuck up.
You know what?
He fucking up the church's money.
I kind of agree because I think that I think he recently got into the podcast business, and I think they're trying to recreate. Everybody's trying to recreate what Eric Bischoff has. You know what I mean? Eric Bischoff has that 83 weeks, has a lot of followers.
I love it. I love Eric Bischoff's takes.
And him and Jim Cornette and things like that, and like they all have this following now where everybody wants to listen to them, and to the point where there's even controversy. I think Kevin Nash got into it with somebody. Oh no, with Logan Paul. Logan Paul. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he got into it with Logan Paul. Yeah, about him getting millions and not taking the workhorse contracts of being on the road all the time.
Facts. Like, so anyway, my point in saying all that is just that, like, he's probably just looking for shit to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, because after a while, like, especially with podcasts like
Chris,
that.
you hate AEW as well. Y'all got something in common. Go ahead.
How does Rakim feel about AEW? Anyway, that went over people's head. I'm too old.
I got it. I'm an Eric B. Rakim guy. I got it. Let's go ahead and get up out of here, y'all. Now, quiet. I'm almost done.
Anyway, you know what? But it was a good show. It was definitely a good show. I was entertained. Everything was
to follow up off of the season premiere for SmackDown. Really good for them. I just Chris, you definitely hate AEW. I've when I had to do AEW on Wednesdays, you hated AEW. You hated AEW then. You hate AEW
all elite
now.
blackness. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. Speaking back to Oh wait. Oh
Yeah,
yes.
no, you good. Go ahead.
When he's speaking back to Rikishi, like Rikishi is just doing what Chris does. You know what I mean? Being a wooden spoon, trying to stir the pot. You know what I'm saying? All the time. It doesn't
Ricochet
matter.
ain't doing nothing but the same shit he been doing. He ain't turning no fucking heads.
Look, no, all I'm saying is that Chris is the type of person that will go to the Democratic National Convention and be a Trump supporter, and then go the next day to the Republican National Convention and be a Kamala supporter, just to stir the pot. You know what I mean? Straight MJF style. You feel me? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's the rain cloud that the pot stirrer is over here. You feel me?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have something for everybody. I don't know if he's doing it tonight or not, but it's supposed to be a collision review show later on tonight. This is why it's not on the graphic, because there's never a consistency there with that. But Mondays you can catch the Mike Knox show at 6 p.m. And then Tuesdays, you can catch the Monday Night Raw review with Executive and Freckle Sensei. And then Wednesdays, you can catch the Tuesdays, later on Tuesday, now you can catch the NXT review and result crew with Bad Guy Jack and Estella. And then Wednesdays, White Boy Wasted Wednesdays with a Dynamite review crew, Cactus Katie, Venomous Vinny, and Dan the Man with Mad Dog Kelly with the news. Thursday, top fives and specials. Whenever somebody decides they want to volunteer to do it, it'll be done. And then Saturday, you can come back for the premiere show, the Smackdown Penitentiary.
Wait a minute. Something that Todd just mentioned. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. That Chelsea Green segment.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The Chelsea Green show. Let me bring that up real quick.
That shit was cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Actually, and it wasn't even. It was filmed. It was filmed like it was. Like the camera angle was like definitely like in 4K or some shit like that. Like it was. It just didn't seem like a regular vignette. You know what I'm saying? Like it just didn't seem normal.
I don't remember seeing a dumpster match in a long time.
But Chelsea was looking good.
Yeah,
nice.
Well, she's always looking nice.
She always looks nice.
But the thing is that I haven't seen that in a really, really long time, and for her to have a dumpster match with Michin, and just all of that silly shit she was doing.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
Hilarious, bro.
She's hilarious.
She's just really good at poking the bear. But yeah, man, that shit was great. It was.
I'm not your bro, dude. I'm your dad. I'm not your bro. Don't bro me.
Oh, yes, well. Actually,
we gotta go because my kid's calling me bro.
That's funny because what you just did, you definitely should clip that into a commercial. You know what I'm saying? I'm not your bro.
Yeah, I hate bro with a passion. Listen, we about to get up out of here, man, because my kid is acting up and calling me bro. So we gotta do something. We gotta get out of here. But any last thoughts on SmackDown from last night?
Well, just good folding storytelling, man. It's for everybody. Everybody's getting this real good booking right now. All right.
I would just say simply cinema at its finest. All hell Chelsea Green and the Dimples, because I would commit a murder for Dimples. Oh man, Bad Guy, you know what? I got something special for you, Bad Guy. I got something real special for you. Goldberg-esque, because Goldberg got more championships than Bret Hart. I don't know if you knew that. Totality, he's got more championships than Bret Hart. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, he had to wrestle a lot longer than Bret Hart. He was
because Bret Hart couldn't cut it.
Yeah. Universal Championship belt came out like after maybe 10 years after Bret Hart retired. Shoot fly with all of that. Come on, he's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Goldberg ain't never gonna get the pop that Bret Hart gets. He ain't never gonna get the lines that Bret Hart gets.
Bret Hart's never gonna get that pop. You see that pop he had with them dumbass Jordache jeans on? He looks stupid with that blood napkin shirt on.
The guy's already old in his 60s and all.
But he got a black wife. He should have some style. See,
I agree. He should, but he's but still. But
hey, man, you see what I'm saying? The streets have been. All right, we gotta go because I don't know this.
Original GOAT
Listen,
was
for
Goldberg.
Vic, for the original GOAT is Goldberg.
Man, you better
let me finish this. He wants to watch Paw Patrol and his TV just cut off.
A whack ass spear. Shoe fly Goldberg.
All right, y'all. For Vic, I am the Z of Silent. This has been the Smackdown Penitentiary. And you know what? You can catch us next week. And as always, I'm going to leave you with a commercial of last week's show. Y'all stay safe, be humble, be blessed, love hard, love often, drink, be merry, reach for the sky. And as always, rest in peace to Jay Briscoe. See you guys next week.
Welcome to the Smackdown Penitentiary.
I saw a rocket on his trunks. Who the fuck was that? That man, Corey Gray, said he was built like a Miami sub shop.
That's funny. I didn't even hear that.
Hey, yo, they was clowning him. They said he was George the Animal Steel's son because he has so much hair on his chest and his back.
That's hilarious.
Yo, that was hilarious, man. I can't. Well, I'm sorry. And he gives him a stunner. And shout out to him because he knew his ring presence and he got the stunner, got his $300, and he rolled out of the ring. I know that Chris says that his prototype superstar is Drew McIntyre. Rightfully so. Cool. Drew's what, 6'6"? I'll take Randy at 6'5". Even if you're going to do bulked up Randy, or if you're going to do shave head, 0% body fat, Orton, I'm taking either one of them.
You know what though? Chris says that, but his favorite wrestler is The Miz because he can talk to you. That don't make no kind of sense.